Hello, friends from the manga world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to talk about the new releases for manga for October 2025. Hector and I, we work for Penguin Random House, so the titles that you'll see today are those that we represent from the publishers that we partner with. Aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and on X at PRH International Comics, where we'll post some news and updates on those channels. So definitely check us out. It'll be linked below. And if you're new to this, we always start out with our personal picks. Then we move on to some other highlights, like we have like box sets on here and like art books. And also we'll go through any one-shots and volume ones that are new for October, and then we'll leave you for the rest of the list. So we'll go ahead and get started here.
Yes. And first is my pick. This is Before You Go Extinct. This is written by Takashi Ushiroyato, illustrated by Kanato Abiko, and by Kodansha. It's from Kodansha. I remember this was announced last year at New York Comic Con, and we don't have a lot of information. I was trying to find a little bit more information, but basically, this is an anthology of different stories from the point of view of different animals, penguins, otters, crows, and more. And just reading what it says here is like they to learn more how they learn. We'll follow their stories as they learn more about the value of culture, beauty, of play in the face of capitalist pressure to produce and reproduce, and the power of love in the face of total annihilation. So it sounds like very cool, and as it says there on the summary on the screen, you see it says a dark comic look at the meaning and meaningless of life. I think it's going to be a very interesting and funny uh, satire of what's happening in the world, and but through the eyes of some interesting creatures. I did find in another description that it talks about that egg is actually a rock. So there's this penguin who's actually sitting on a rock instead of an egg. So I definitely want to read about what's that all about. So very cool. Very. It's. I think it's going to be a very neat, different kind of book. So I can't wait to read it.
All right, this is Classmates Volume 7, and I love that it's titled Home. This comes out, of course, October 14th. I am a fan of Classmates, and so a little bit about the series. If you're unfamiliar, this would be a perfect time to go back to pick up the previous volumes. We have Kusakabe, who like always thought that this classmate that he like that he sees around Sajo was kind of like a snob until he stumbles across him practicing a song in an empty classroom. And with that interaction, Kusabe agrees to become his music tutor. And with each lesson that they meet, like when they meet to do the lessons, the two boys grow closer together. So with the return of these characters in Volume 7, they have you've sort of journeyed through their relationship from being classmates to boyfriends and to now getting married. And now that they're living together, they're still learning new things about each other, what love means for the other person. So, what you're seeing here is essentially a collection of short stories featuring, of course, the cast of the BL classic that I very much love. And so, it's a very much a long-awaited new volume for this franchise and the latest installment. I'm super excited. Fans are super excited. So this is coming out of Seven Seas.
Very very cool. I love the art of the cover. It looks very beautiful.
The art is beautiful. I forgot to mention there is a
Mhm.
movie adaptation of this. I believe it's a
Oh.
movie. It's been a while since I watched it. It is beautiful. It's a very unique art style, which you can see on the cover here. So it's very
Yeah,
much like that in the adaptation. I highly recommend checking out if you haven't seen it, to see it.
very cool. All right. And next up, oh, I'm so excited. Nishiju, My Ordinary Life, number 12. It's been 2 years since Volume 11 came out in English. So I think fans like me, we've been waiting for this. Um, this is, if you don't know Nishiju, it follows the stories of these characters. There's three girls in school. There's this girl who's always wearing sort of this sort of scientist attire and lives with a kind of a maid or a caretaker who we don't never know, but I guess she created it. She has like a key for a like a winding toy key in her bag, and lives with this cat who talks. There's other characters, but those are sort of the main ones, and you get these little vignettes of stories. The books are just these little vignettes of stories, and it's very funny, of course, get very silly most of the time. Um, and but you kind of see the lives of them just living in a regular, suburban uh, Tokyo. It's what it seems like. Um, but it again with very very ridiculous stories, very silly stories. And there's other mangas like this, but I think Nishiyu is probably the biggest one out there, the most famous one. Um, it has been adapted to anime. I don't know if it's caught up with the manga, but definitely I recommend go through the manga. You go through it really quick. It's the kind of thing that you just flip through. You can have next to your desk, and you're having a bad day. You just flip to open and read one of the stories, and it changes your day. It just brightens your day. I am just gonna mention so you get an idea of how ridiculous it is. There's just this one story about this one of the girls she's sent to the hallway because she did something wrong, and she's standing there and she's looking out on the courtyard, and the principal of the school encounters this deer, and they get into a fight. You have to read this, at least if you want to just get a taste. Go and look up Nishiju deer, and you'll find a video of the anime, I'm sure. But it'll give you a taste of what this is like. It is so awesome. Again, I highly, highly recommend it. It is good for all ages, but I think adults will definitely enjoy this. So there you go. Next.
All right, next up we have Nazumi's First Love, Volume 1. So we have the character here, Nazumi, who is raised by a mob to basically be an emotionless killing machine. A chance encounter at an arcade leads to a romance, of all things, at total odds with everyone and everything that she's ever known. So, like a killing machine romance, what is this feeling? So this is equal parts like an ultra violent, but also kawaii and cute
Yeah.
story. And so we have this character who turns both hitman and also like this love comedy genre. So I think that is very much represented by the cover here. This is a new cover that is different from the Japanese edition, and they really wanted to convey the violence and the gore, as you can see on the cover, but also the cute and adorable at the same time. And I think they did such a good job with the cover to represent that. It's a very it like unconventional in the type of way where you don't see this too much, but like it's that dichotomy that you see here all in one manga, and very much appreciate it. I'm excited to pick this up. So this is coming out of Kodansha.
Yeah, very cool. It kind of gives me vibes a little bit of Beneath the Trees um, from IDW. But anyways, and next up, I have to pick a isekai because it's my thing. And in this case, we got Virgin Knight. I became the Frontier Lord in a world ruled by women. This is the light novel, volume one. And then also volume one of the manga. It's coming out both on October. They're written by Mitizu. This one is illustrated by Katsuru Janase, and but the character designed by Melon22, who is the illustrator of the manga. This is a guy who gets transported into a world where roles are reversed. Uh, Women are the dominant, the dominant sex in the world. In that world, there's the queen is the dominant, and men are sort of overpowered by women. And in this case, he becomes a rare, which is rare. He is a male knight, which is very rare in this world. And uh, it's sort of from what I gather from what I've read so far on the story that's out there, it is sort of showing you the world as it was if it was the other way around, the roles were backwards. But it also shows you that it's like he has to deal with the advances of women all the time, and like even the queen kind of makes advances on him. So it's gonna be another one that it promises to be very action packed and with a big world that has been built around this premise, but also with a lot of funny moments within it. So I'm really interested in how they kind of develop this sort of switch of genders and to this world. I'm really looking forward to reading about it. And next,
All right, next up we have Sensei's Mail Order Food, the complete BL manga collection. So we have erotic novelist Haruka and shoujo artist Miraku, who are brought together by their publisher to collaborate on a new manga. And it seems like a perfect match between the two until they meet in person and realize just how different they are. So Haruku is a bit of a sadist with like a cool guy type of personality, and he immediately clashes with Miraku, who is something of a masochist and doesn't like match his bright shoujo style at all. So there's one thing that these two halves have in common, and it happens to a lot of people, right? And it's a love of food, in this case, gourmet food, especially the mail order variety. And so, can their passion for amazing food bridge the gap between them, or could food be a catalyst that causes their passions to boil over? This includes reviews of real gourmet food items from Japan, which I think is cool in itself. So again, it actually inspired. I am really mad at myself because I was not aware that this has a live action drama, which immediately I have to go watch it. If you already know, I pretty much watch them all. So I'm like, what? One I didn't know about.
I know I am surprised.
Blasphemous.
I
Yes.
know what happened
So
there.
I'm super excited for this. And yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, it does. And so we're into the number ones of box sets. We're gonna start with Assassin's Creed Dynasty box set. Uh, Obviously based on the video game. Aloshan, an oppressive military governor, leads his elite corps to rebel against the Tang dynasty, and the ill-prepared Tang Empire falters under the threat. Can the tide change with a shady assassin teaming up with Tang loyalists to save from crisis? And next we have Blue Lock Season 1 Part 2 manga box set. Go through a battle to become Japan's top striker kicks off in this premium box set of the hit soccer manga that inspired the smash hit anime. Includes volumes 7 to 11 sorry, of the Blue Lock manga and an exclusive double-sided poster. And third, here we have Two Beauty box set, volumes 1 through 4, perfect for readers of graphic novels, manga, webcomics, plus young adult, contemporary romance with the makeover and love triangle tropes. Additionally, fans of the kissing booth, Cinderella-esque stories, and K-dramas like 200 Pound Beauty and Oh My Venus will enjoy the series. If you don't know, this is a very, very successful webtoon that was also turned into a very successful anime. So, yeah, so very cool to have the first boxes for the first 4 volumes coming out.
We have Soul Eater, Soul Art Encore. This is the art book. This is coming out in hardcover. So we're celebrating the 20th anniversary with this deluxe edition. This is full cover, and it has archival quality slipcase, which is very nice. So it has more than 200 of the best illustrations from the franchise's rich history, including colored pages from the Perfect Edition manga volumes. It has like promotional materials for the anime adaptations and also exclusive new art by the creator, Atsushi Akubo.
Yeah. And of course, the manga also available through PRH.
Yes.
And let's get started with the volume ones and one shots. There's a lot this month, so bear with us. We're going to start with the Broken Ring Volume 1. This marriage will fail anyway. Only those who have died know how long a lifetime is. Ines Valestena's first life ended at the age of 26. The manga adaptation of Chacha Kim's web novel is now available in English print for the first time. We continue with Cupid is Struck by Lightning, Volume 1. Charming boys love manga about a cheerful matchmaker who falls hard for his Kundere senpai from Minta Suzumaru, creator of I Didn't Mean to Fall in Love, also available from Seven Seas. Then we have Dear Demon King, an 18 plus fantasy BL manga about a demon king who inadvertently falls in love with a young griffin he rescued as a hatchling. Very cool and weird. Dear Door is next.
The
Comic
weirder, the
Volume 1.
better.
Yeah, the weirder the better. Dear Door Comic Volume 1. One day, hot pursuit of suspect Officer Ki Kyung I'm so sorry, Kyung Jun gets caught in criminal machinations, the worst of which is the Demon King, Lord Kane. Kane's survival in this world depends on mana that can only be accessed through a door. Kane's door happens to be inside Kim Jong, and these two will have to get up close and very personal, as you can see in the cover, to open it. Oh man, that is also a very cool premise.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know.
as a fan of PL, I'm loving the the content that we're getting. So this is
Yeah, yeah,
amazing
yeah.
to me. This is continuing on. We have Demon Under the Waxing Moon. A man who attracts demons finds himself bound to one that's been stripped of his name and power and demands much more than blood. So this is a sexy BL manga about a pack that becomes something more from the creator of God of Seduction in the Bedroom, which is also available from Seven Seas. And then we have, I'm super excited for this. This is Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. This is the deluxe hardcover novel, so you know this is going to be beautiful. So this is the volume one. So again, we have the manhwa, the comic version, but of course this is the novel version that's coming out. So it's very much like when this came out, especially when the live action adaptation came out, it blew up. Everyone was watching it, and it has such a fan base behind it. So this is something that you don't want to miss out on. Of course, the live action is called Untamed. Basically, you can think of this as like a historical fantasy, two powerful men who find each other through life and death and all of the drama that ensues between them. And it's such an interesting world that is being built here. It's uh political drama involved. So if you like that, this is something that like I highly recommend checking into. I'm like really cutting it short about the premise here.
I know you're
Um,
holding back. I can
I
tell you're
am
holding
holding
back.
back. I just because if I keep going, it's gonna be a long
Yeah,
video.
let's
So
do a
I'm
separate
moving on
video
here.
about. We should
I'll move
do
on
a
here.
separate video about all the MXTX titles.
The MXTX, yes. And then we have Hope You're Happy, Lemon. This is volume one. Right when he's ready to give love another chance, one guy winds up swapping bodies with his cheating ex-girlfriend in this gender-bending body swap rom-com manga. The thing, probably the worst thing that could ever happen, happens to this individual. And then we have I Can't Stand Being Your Childhood Friend, volume one. We have Oi and Roita, who had been friends for as long as they can remember. So when it comes time to head off to college, it only makes sense for them to room together. So they're practically joined at the hip. They're convinced that their relationship will stay the same forever, which we all know can't be true if you're humans growing up. So one day, I wakes up to find Ryota leaning to kiss him. Interesting. Dynamic has changed. Now he must unpack this bewildering development, but he just can't seem to forget Reuter's touch.
Very cool. And then we continue with I Wanna Love You, Kiss You, Bite You. The sweet, steamy BL Omegaverse one shot features an alpha and omega in an arranged marriage who can't keep their hands off each other, as you can see on the cover. And then I'll Never Fall in Love with Amano, Volume 1. Amano is a genius who sits at the top of the class in sports and in grades without even trying. Because of him, the smart, hardworking girl Takahide always found herself in second place despite her best efforts. If only she could find a weakness in Amano somehow. But when she kept glancing at Amano with that thought in mind, Amano misunderstood and thought that she liked him. So he suddenly confessed to her. Sorry, I should say it the right way. So he suddenly confessed to her. She can she beat him at love. Very cool. And then also excited. I'm in the heroic night of an intergalactic empire manga volume one. Don't miss this manga adaptation of the exciting light novel series, also from Seven Seas, set in the same universe as I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire by the author of Trapped in a Dating Sim. And we just saw last season the first season of the anime for Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. Of course, this is a spinoff. And then we have Light of My Life, a beloved BL author's English manga debut. Aki and Minagi were inseparable in high school until an incident pulled their friendship apart at the seams. Years later, both men have given up on their high school dreams and on each other. But when Minagi shows up one night on Aki's doorstep, is it just the push that two men need in order to address their past and repair their future? Well, you have to read to find out.
All right, and continuing on, we have The Love We Share. This is in the aftermath of tragedy. We have Takumi Machi, who's left to raise 2-year-old Koya by himself. Apologies. While struggling to make ends meet, we have Machi, who all of a sudden collapses on the street, and he is rescued by an old schoolmate that he recognizes, named Mihiru. And in spite of the doubts, like he's just wondering why is this like essentially a stranger? It's been a while since he met with that classmate. Why is he like helping? And
Hmm.
so despite all of that, they work to build a life for each other together, I should say. And it's really a story about learning what it means to really be a family, which you can see on the cover. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
And we have The Lying Bride and the Same-Sex Marriage Debate Volume 1. This is a new drama-filled Yuri series about two total opposites rediscovering the meaning of love and happiness. And this is from the creator of Days of Love at Seagull Villa. I married my best friend to shut my parents up. And then it's also various other titles like NTR, Natsuzo Trap, all of which are available also from Seven Seas. And then we have these two, Monster and Ghost Volume 1. This is the both the hardcover and the trade paperback are coming out simultaneously. So we have Subaki Kotan, who is followed home by a stranger who sets out to change his life for good. And the stranger is this boy who's pure-hearted, Yuki, who sees past Subaki's fearsome charade. But although someone finally sees Subaki for who he truly is, we have we have Yuki who can't be seen at all. And what's the reason? He's a ghost. So it's essentially a story about a monster, hence the title, who wants to be feared, and a ghost who just wants to be seen. So it's a romance that will haunt your heart, and I'm
Hmm.
all for it, and can't wait for it to come out.
And there's paperback and hardcover coming out.
Hmm.
And we continue with Monster Musume Deluxe Edition number one. This collects volumes one to three as a hardcover omnibus. The New York Times best-selling manga returns in a brand new hardcover omnibus release with never-before-seen extras. Monsters are real and they're ready to integrate with one man, and his home becomes a house for sexy monster girls. True classic, by the way. Monsters We Make, Volume 1, and New Edding Academy, Jabari uncovers a dark legacy born in eternal night where gifted students face murder, mystery, and the monsters among them. This is written um, by famous influencer Corey Kenshin, so there's a lot of fans behind this debut. So keep an eye out for that one for
He'll be
sure.
in New York this week for Anime
For
NYC,
Anime
so with
NYC.
for fans lining up for to see him. So huge fan base with
So
this
there's
creator.
going to be a lot of publicity, obviously,
Hmm.
around it because he has a lot of followers. So yes, definitely. And then we continue with My Moody Crush. Um, Ku is half werewolf, half vampire, who works at his mom's cafe. Ku avoids making personal connections with humans for fear of his vampiric nature might put them at risk, until one day his childhood friend Itsuki reappears in his life and, in spite of Ku's protests, becomes his co-worker at the cafe. Itsuki is determined to rekindle their friendship, but Ku must keep his distance to avoid putting Itsuki in danger. And I guess he needs to check his teeth for some reason in the cover. Anyways, we continue with My Life as an Internet Novel, Volume 1. What happens when you're thrown into a fictional world, not as the main character, but as the main character's best friend? This Korean manhwa puts a twist on romance and proves that falling in love is more than just a trope. Very cool too. And we repeated that one there.
Oops. Yes. So I'll move forward here. My New Wife's Fake Smile, Volume 1. A samurai is worried about the fact that his wife always seems to wear a forced smile whenever she's with him, and he's worried that she's unhappy in their match. But little does he know that she's just desperately trying to keep her wild passion for him in check for propriety's sake. We have My Twisted Eating Disorder. This is a autobiographical manga from the Harvey Award-winning creator of My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, which is also available from Seven Seas. And this one is available in print in English here. It's deeply personal journey that offers a very poignant, unvarnished look at the emotional turmoil surrounding disordered eating. It will resonate with anyone who has battled with food, but also who has battled with self-image or a lot life's darker moments. So if you experienced this before or any of those like feelings and moments that you get, you could all relate to the story that's being portrayed here. The I say it's story, but it's a personal account from
It's a
this
memoir,
creator.
really.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's a look into their part of their life. And then we have our dining table, Seconds, Please, Volume 1. I did mention this before in one of my picks. I love our dining table, the first manga that came out. This could also be picked up. You could, it's a collection of short stories, with these characters returning for fans who are looking for more content. This is for you, but also for new fans who just wanted to check it out, and be introduced. But I do highly recommend checking out the previous book as well.
And we continue with Real Time Fever. Shizuka anonymously broadcasts erotic content to his followers. Of all his followers, Kuro is by far his favorite. Kuro then reveals himself to Kurosaki, Shizuka's classmate and Mr. Popular. Thinking he's being blackmailed, Shizuka agrees to be Kurosaki's project partner, but Kurosaki has an agenda of his own in mind.
Mm.
Then we continue with Ripples in the River, Volume 1, a sweet boy's love manga about falling in love over and over again, even after a decade of being together. From the creator of 5 Seconds Before a Witch Falls in Love, also available from Seven Seas. And by the way, I love that we have the two extremes of BL, and you can tell by those two covers at the beginning of this, like we have the very erotic and then we have the very sweet BL, and it's
Mhm.
just we have something for everybody.
Mhm.
And then we have Shoot Juliet Down, number one. Amidst the dark glamour of Host Club Velvet Kiss, Jury, also called Juliet, commands a vice-like grip on the number one position. Newbie in number one to Host, uh, Akatsuki decides he must learn Juliet's secrets. He soon learns some secrets are better left in their bottles and might discover more than he bargained for. Ooh. And then we go to something completely different. Smell. At a school for beastmen, two students have an awkward encounter that sparks an unexpected connection. Joseph, a cheerful border collie, catches the quiet, skittish bloodhound Noi secretly sniffing his shirt between classes. Their strange little moment lingers, and something begins to shift between them. It is just curiosity, a fleeting crush, or could this be the start of something more? Yeah, very, very interesting and cool premise.
We have There's Something Wrong with the Chief, Volume 1. So this is a tragic past and a deadly world of assassins spark a love that defies fate in this fan favorite Danmei series. We have Winter Wolf, Volume 1. We have a woman who attempts to flee a kingdom that killed her family. She winds up stranded in this mansion with a man who can help her escape. Will they remain at odds or will they warm up to each other? This is a steamy, full-color romance webtoon manhwa that will get you heated. We have Yotsuya Ghost Night, the supernatural BL about an exorcist who discovers he can use his own bodily fluids to purify evil spirits. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
And then let's transition here. You
yeah.
Can't Bluff the Sharp-Eyed Sister, Volume 1. We have this shrewd young priestess in training who is set a murder to solve in this new mystery manga from this creator of Apothecary Diaries. So by
Mhm.
day, Chloe lives at a convent. By night, she is such a card shark a holy knight ends up believing she has a rare magical gift. What he doesn't know is that she just has sharp eyes and a quick wit, which she'll need when she's uprooted and dropped in the middle of a round of a deadly palace intrigue. So, there definitely, if you're a fan of Apothecary Diaries, this is for sure something that you should pick up. Oh, and that's it for the volume ones and one shots. But you do want to stick around for more. There are continuing volumes coming out in October. So we'll exit the screen, but we'll leave you with the rest of the list. Thank you all for watching and staying with us this far. And in the comments down below, definitely express your opinions. What are you looking forward to picking up in the month of October? And we do this we have all sorts of videos, so definitely check us out on social media and on YouTube. Thank you, and bye, everyone.
Bye.